Welcome back to English grammar classes. This video is a continuation of verb tenses. In the last class, we have discussed the present tense and its forms. Today, we are going to discuss past tense and its different forms with examples. Look at the following sentences. Anil got a job last month. He passed the examination in 2007. She bought a new pair of shoes last Saturday. The verbs used in these sentences got, passed and bought are in the past form. Sentence 1 tells us about an action that took place last month. Sentence 2 speaks of an action that occurred in 2007, and sentence 3 concerns itself with an action that happened last Saturday. We call the tense the past simple or the simple past tense, and we use it to describe an action that took place in the past. We normally use adverbs or adverbial phrases of past time with this tense. For instance, we have used last month in sentence 1, 2007 in sentence 2, and last Saturday in sentence 3. Some of the adverbs or adverbial phrases used with this tense are yesterday, last night, last week, last month, last year, a few moments ago, a few minutes ago, a few days ago, a few months ago, etc. The adverb before should not be used with this tense. Don't say he left 5 minutes before. It's wrong, but you have to say he left 5 minutes ago. Let's know more about the use of ago and before. Ago is used with the past simple tense and before with the perfect tenses. Look at the following examples. The accident occurred 2 hours ago. I have met him before. We have not discussed the issue with anybody before. The past simple tense is also used for a habit in the past. For example, when I was in Mumbai, I went to the beach every weekend. When I had a dog, I took it out every morning. Last year, I walked to the office every day. Now, a habit in the past is most often expressed using used to. When I was in Mumbai, I used to go to beach every weekend. When I had a dog, I used to take it out every morning. Last year, I used to walk to the office every day. Now we can discuss the difference between simple past tense and the present perfect tense. The past simple or simple past tense tells us about the time of a past action, wherein the present perfect tense tells us about the present effect of a past action. Now read the following sentences. He finished the work yesterday. He didn't finish the work yesterday. Did he finish the work yesterday? Now, another set of examples. She wrote a poem. She didn't write a poem. Did she write a poem? We notice that the negative and interrogative forms of a past tense verb are formed using the auxiliary verb did. Once we use did, we should not use the past form of the main verb. Please be careful. It is wrong to say he didn't finish the work yesterday. It's wrong. Never do it. The correct answer is, did he finish the work yesterday? Look at the following sentences. The sun was shining at this time yesterday. When I went out, it was raining. He was watching TV while she was washing clothes. These sentences express some actions which were taking place at certain times in the past. To express such actions, we use the past continuous tense. To get the past continuous form of a verb, we use was or were plus ing form of the verb. Was or were plus ing form of the verb. For example, was going, were going, was doing, were doing, was singing, were singing. Let's see where this past continuous tense is used. The past continuous tense is mostly seen in complex sentences with another verb in the simple past tense. Look at the examples here. The sun was rising when I went out. The patient was lying on the floor when the doctor came. When I went out. So that is in simple past tense, and along with that, past continuous tense is also used. Was rising. In the second example, the doctor came. Simple past tense. Was lying. Past continuous tense. But this tense can also be used alone. She was sleeping the whole afternoon. She was expecting my call last night. So here only past continuous tense is used. This tense could be seen at times when another verb also in the past continuous form. Let us see how it is used. He was watching television while she was cooking. So two actions, both in past continuous form. The phone was ringing when he was taking bath. The phone was ringing. He was taking bath. So both the actions took place in the past. Okay? In a particular time period. This tense is often found with adverb clauses beginning with while and when, and other adverbs which show the duration of the action, like all last week, all yesterday, all last night, etc. Now look at the following examples. The old man fell down while he was running after a bus. While I was reading, I heard a noise outside my room. While it was raining all last night. All last night. Now let us discuss the past perfect tense. Look at the following sentences. The minister told us what countries he had visited. By the time the doctor arrived, the patient had died. Sentence 1 has two verbs, told and had visited. Visited is an earlier action than told. The same is in the case with the sentence 2. Died is an earlier action than arrived. If there are two past actions, we use the earlier of the two in the past perfect tense. How to use the past perfect tense? Its form is had plus past participle form of the verb. So to get the past perfect tense of a verb, we use had with the past participle form of the verb. For example, had done, had eaten, had written, had run, had come. Okay, I'll give you more examples as sentences. He had switched off all fans and lights before he left the room. The sun had set when we reached the beach. If you had had a car, you would have reached there much earlier. Look at the examples again. He had switched off all the fans. So that was the earlier action. After that only he left the room. So two actions took place in the past and the earlier action to be written in past perfect and the second one in simple past tense. Look at the second example. The sun had set. That was the earlier action. After that only we reached the beach. Now look at the third sentence. It's a conditional clause, a conditional sentence. If you had a car. So when you start a conditional sentence with past perfect tense, it should be followed by would have plus past participle form of the verb. So that is the rule used in the third sentence. Now remember, the past perfect tense is used only in relation to a past action. For example, only the past simple tense will do for the following sentences as each one contains a past action only. Look at this sentence. I passed the high secondary examination in 2001. Then I got admission in an engineering college for the BTech course. I studied there for 4 years and took the degree. After that, I worked as a temporary hand in an engineering firm for about a year. Satisfied with my performance, they took me as a permanent employee in 2008. But the past perfect form is a must when we speak of an action in relation to another. For example, I had passed the high secondary examination when I joined an engineering college. I had taken a BTech degree before I got a job. Have you seen the difference between the sentences that I used in the first para and in the second para? In the first para, I have used only simple past tense, and here I have used both past perfect and simple past tense. I hope you have understood the difference. The last form of past tense is past perfect continuous tense. The form of the verb used in past perfect continuous tense is had been plus present participle. Look at the difference. Had been plus present participle. Had been working. Had been reading. Had been waiting. I'll give you some sentences to make it clear. I had been working in a bank for 2 years when I was selected for the civil service. Ramu had been working on the project right from the day he was put in charge of it. We notice that this tense is used for an action which lasted for a period of time in the past and was completed at a point of time in the past. Once again, I will tell, this tense is used for an action which lasted for a period of time in the past and was completed at a point of time in the past. The past perfect continuous tense is seen more in the indirect speech. A verb used in the present perfect continuous tense in the direct speech is changed to the past perfect continuous tense in indirect speech. I will give you example with direct and indirect speech. See the sentence. She said, "The child has been sleeping for 2 hours." This is direct speech. How to change it into indirect speech? She said that the child had been sleeping, past perfect continuous tense, for 2 hours. Dear children, that's all regarding past tense and its forms. In the next class, we'll discuss the future tense as well as verbs in conditional sentences. Thank you for watching the video.